Yes,
Sriram.
Sriram.
Fantastic to meet you on a great Sunday. Successfully, we have completed one of the BMP batch yesterday. I have some people feel, that's a good. This Sunday is my Sunday. Good, relieved feel. Do I have somebody from previous batch? That is the August batch here.
Yes, Rahul. Kaushik
Yes,
here.
I'm here.
Sri.
Here is Sri.
Look at the way the day has come. I have to call you as previous batch. God, time is running faster. Who want to show your face on Sunday? Let's see. Vaiteeswaran is available on the cam. Praveen is available. Good. Good to see you guys. I know it's so abrupt on Sunday asking you to come on the cam, but nice to see. Kaushik, Madhulata, Salal is here. Nice to see you all. Hello. Good. All right. So I do have people from different batches here. Thanks a lot for joining. And this is one of the Sunday session. Like in temple and church, they have this Sunday prayers, kind of Sunday prayers we do here. Here something on the knowledge purpose, more or not on the spiritual side. Again, we'll use this next 1 hour to talk some subject. So what is the plan today? I'm going to talk something on risk management and some question paper. We'll talk about it. And thanks a lot for people in the cam. It's up to your wish. You can stay on the cam or you can put your cam off as you wish. Ramachandra, after a long time. You're in mute mode. I got your blessings. Good, Ramachandra.
Hey, hi, Shriram. Sorry. Cut off meeting today, so I just came for the Sunday prayer.
God, man, for name sake, I said. So what's happening, Ramachandra? I think you are in a new job, if I remember your WhatsApp message.
Yes. I joined Cisco.
Okay.
So this is my first month from
Nice.
Ericsson. I was there in Ericsson for 10 years.
Wow. Did you felt emotionally coming out of Ericsson?
Yeah, definitely. Because in 10 years, I have maintained a lot of bondings there. So
Nice.
living from there.
Nice to know. But when you walk out of the office, nothing would have been in your hand, right? Laptop taken and ID card taken. You can't even take 1 MB of data.
Oh, everything. That's it.
You would have a 10 years of saved information in the folder, all boom, gone.
Yes.
Okay. But the experience you carry with you, that's important, right?
Yes, Shriram. Experience
Nice.
and the knowledge and whatever you gave us with PMP.
Nice to know. Good wishes for your new job in Cisco, and keep rocking. Whatever you learned, apply there. Okay. And I believe this is a honeymoon period, isn't it? In your office.
No, Shriram, already I got started with 2 projects.
Ooh, someone is in action already.
Yeah.
Okay. The first shot of the movie introduction is the action. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
Nice to know.
completely in action. Thank you.
Nice to know. Thanks a lot. All right, good. Let's start with something today, and I appreciate everyone being here online in Zoom, and I have some people in YouTube, LinkedIn. Thanks all for watching. I was reading something about a person called Carl Jung. Have anyone heard this name, Carl Jung? Who's this guy? PMP certified? If not, don't ask him to talk to me. If you say like that, Carl Jung is a psychiatrist, and he wrote something like this. If you see in the screen, are you seeing something in the screen right now? Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Right. One thing I was reading some book last evening. So one thing I read here is he talks about until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. Okay. Then you call it as a fate. That's fate, man. That's how my life is. When I was reading little detail on it, and this guy psychiatrist, by the way, he born in 1850s and then lived till 1960s. And what he talked about here is unconscious. What we do unconscious and you take into conscious, it's not going to help you. Let me put it this way. Until you make unconscious conscious, which means we have certain habits. Maybe you are sleeping, maybe you are book reading, maybe your food habits, exercise. If you don't bring that to consciously, why I'm doing that, does it make any sense? If you don't do that, what will happen is that will direct your life, and you will tell that that's my fate. Okay, what you want to say that is the deep-seated beliefs and parts of your personality that you aren't even aware of. I like this line, you aren't even aware of. Many of our characters and habits, we are not aware, but we keep doing. Many times when I laugh loud, I may have a different body language. Somebody observed or said, Shri, every time when you laugh loud, you keep doing something like this. You shake your head, do something like this. They say that. Only when somebody says, I know that, oh my goodness, I'm doing that. Now, why I'm putting that point here is, if really somebody is struggling here to grow in your life, or you're really growing well in your life, for both, there could be something unconsciously happening. Now, if we can spend some time to understand, to bring that to conscious, chances are we can course correct it. This I read last evening, then I felt so nice. But see, I know this already, man. Do I need Carl Jung to come and say to me? Not necessarily. It is a way to recall ourselves. Okay, so if I can consciously think on my habits, chances are I can course correct a little bit. That can make my life better. I felt so nice reading, thought of sharing with you. All right, that's on the part what this guy says. Then let's jump to something on risk management. Before I go there, as I do regularly, I'll talk with people who are getting to the examination. Anyone here close to the exam? 5 days, 6 days, 1 week, 10 days, 1 month. Sai Srinivas, Sridharan, when is your exam?
Hey, Sri. So I'm October 17th, 3 weeks.
October 17th, 3 weeks from now. Okay.
Yeah.
By now, you should have already completed reading the book.
Yes, once I've read Rita, and I've also read Andrew Ramdayal's book, I think, which you have in your reference section.
Okay.
So I've read 2 books.
Okay.
And the way I'm revising it is whatever I'm getting wrong, I'm just reading that section again. So I might have read, for example, Risk 3 times overall,
Okay.
right, from Rita, but not the whole book twice.
Okay. Okay, nice. So your reading part is good. How is your full exams? Have you taken the full exams?
And I've no, not yet. I'm doing now 60. From 40, I graduated to 60 questions. In
Okay.
60 questions, I've given 3 so far, or 4 so far. And the first one, I got 68, and all the 3 I've been consistently getting 75.
Very good. That's a good scores there. Now you can start with your full exams.
Okay.
So go for at least 3 or 4 full exams, since you took some bunch of 60 questions. I don't want to too much exhaust with the questions itself. I would recommend to take some questions and also do some analysis of that question. That's very important. Are you spending time to analyze the question?
Yes, I am. The thing is, the analyzing question itself takes about 2 days to figure out what area.
Yeah, that's what important.
So,
I would have said this before also. Reduce taking exam. Take more time to analyze.
Right.
There is a misconception that if I take more exams, I will be good, but more exams alone will not help. A good time to analyze will help. So if I take exam 5 times, 10 times, nice. But 5 times, 10 times, how much of times you analyzed a question paper? I took a 60 question. I did 1 time analysis. I got some reference understanding. If I want, I can do 1 more round of analysis.
Right.
That is more important than taking more tests. I have many people, misconception, they keep taking the test again and again and again. That will not improve at all. You may improve 1%, 2%, but when you analyze and do, you may improve 5 to 8%, right? So recommendation is, please take time to analyze the questions.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Great. So since October 17th, you booked it, center-based?
Yeah, center-based. Yeah.
Nice. Good to know.
Yeah. I learned yesterday something that from September 25th onwards, PMI won't disclose results.
Yeah. Are you seeing the screen, what I'm sharing, Sai?
I do.
All right. It's an information to everyone. There's a PDF shared. I'm sure already you viewed it. Just since the Sai brought out a quick thing from September 25. When September 25 is coming up?
Tomorrow.
We have only 24 hours time. So what is happening here is, at the end of the exam, at the end of the exam, usually we get the result. We say it's pass or whatever it is. Now, what is happening here is candidates will be notified their response have been sent to PMI, Why? Because Pearson VUE is a third party. The third party declares the results saying that pass. They don't want the third party to declare the result. So after the exam gets over, it goes to PMI. Now, PMI will declare the result in 5 days off, within 5 days. Maybe within a day it may come, maybe hours also, not sure, or it could be number of days. The purpose is they don't want to just believe on the third party, the results being declared, even when you write the exam from center or from online, because there are a lot of mistakes were attempted. So when something is good in the world, people try to duplicate it. You know that? Dollars duplicated, gold duplicated. So same way, this also, there are a lot of things happening. To avoid it, PMI is controlling. How do they control it? We have introduced something called a data forensic. Data forensic means investigating your exam writing pattern, how you did it, what you did it. So now this will be done and then they will release the results. Now, answer coming back to Sai. Sai, in no way it will impact you because you're going to go in the same way what you plan to get exam. One impact is you will have to wait for few hours or few days to get the result. So this, you should have the patience to sit and wait.
Absolutely,
That's a one tough part, because writing exam is a big thing. And top of that, if I want somebody to wait for a couple of days, I don't feel it's going to be very pleasant. But if that's a pattern, it works. It is because so far we have seen the exam results given immediately. And now they're changing the pattern, which will have impact for a few months of time. And then people realize that's a way of life.
Right. My only concern was I hope they have not changed the syllabus or something, or TCO
no
or
syllabus
exam content.
Yeah. Now that will not happen right now because they last did in 2020 and started with 2020. Now it's almost only 2.5, 3 years. They would wait another 1.5 years or 2 years to change the syllabus.
Okay.
All right.
Good. Yeah.
So you're good for October 17. So you booked center-based exam, and what is your time slot of your exam?
Morning 9 a.m. 9 to
Okay.
1.
Why I ask this question is I would recommend you to do at least 1 or 2 exams in the same time. Okay, to set up your biological clock in that order for that reason.
Right.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. That's a Sai, keep me posted on the WhatsApp on your status.
I'll do that.
Fantastic. Let's rock. Good. Anyone else in the plan of examination? Application processing has been done for many of us, isn't it? If so, then what I do is I'll go to the subject. We'll talk something on the risk handling. Risk is always there in the project, right? You cannot avoid risk. Now, what I do is I will take to one place where we talk about how risk is handled in the project. Right. Just confirm you are seeing the screen, what I'm sharing now. Screen visible?
Yes.
Nice to know. Now, what you're seeing in the screen is called as risk response strategy. However, people who attended the classes with us or you read the book, you know that in a project, we should first identify the risk, isn't it? That's what the first rule is. First, you have to plan how risk will be handled in a project. You will plan it. In my company, how the risk will be handled. What is the threshold? What is the threshold we maintain? What is the appetite, right? So we'll plan it. And beyond this limit, we won't accept this risk at all. And we are a high risk taking company. We are a low risk taking company. So these all will be in the planned risk. You will talk more on the how the risk strategy will be organized or planned in the company. Okay, this is a very usual format in every company they follow. After which you do identify, right? Identify the risk. When I say identify the risk, a register gets ready. They call us risk register. In risk register, you have risk 1, risk 2, risk 3. It's there. Now, we also know that what is the impact of this risk, how much it will cost, what is the benefit. We'll talk more about it, because risk could be positive or negative. Both can be there. Now, the question is, identification is nice. I know this. I know there is a risk in a project, but what to do with that? Just by identifying what I'm going to do, that's a question mark. Now, for this question mark, before I go there, let me ask you this question. Why we have to identify risk in the project? Anyone? Why we have to identify the risk?
So the risk identified earlier would lead to a lower cost, and the impact on other constraints would be lower rather than identifying later.
Fantastic. You are going to prevent some problem. Is that correct? You're going to prevent something.
Yes.
Right. Nice. Well, rightly said. I'm seeing one more hands up there. Subhashish, you want to say something?
Yeah, like the rework will be less if we and then the time we will save on the rework, and that will again also save the cost. Like if the risk is
Exactly. You save some time and money there. In the chat box, I'm seeing Arun says, today's risk will be tomorrow's problem. Aha. Okay. Today's risk is tomorrow's problem. By the way, Arun, do you think that risk is a future event more than a today's information or problem? What is your thought? Because today, what happens? Can I call that as an issue? As per project management terminology, today what happened is an issue. Risk is something I'm anticipating, right? 4 weeks from now, or there is a cost overrun could happen, right? It could be there. Karmegam says to avoid additional cost or time or losing of goodwill. Nice, Karmegam. And I'm seeing Bharat says it may be positive or negative. Fantastic. Nice points there. Now, as people rightly mentioned here, when you identify, you do this purpose for avoiding something should happen or you prevent it. Now, question mark here is, do I need to spend time with all the risks listed down? For example, if I have 3 risks, all 3 I have to spend time? The answer would be no, for which we have something called qualitative analysis. Something called qualitative analysis, by which we order it whether it is a high priority risk, high chances of happening, or it is a moderate, then what is low. We take high, medium, or low. What is the level of it? When I feel something is high, I want to do little more detailed analysis on it with the data to confirm or prove or justify to my customer that yes, it is high chances of happening. That's why it's in the top rank. Why? How do you say it's a top rank? Then we do something called a quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis, you do the metric data. Then you tell that, hey guys, this is really a high one. We have to focus on it. Anyway, this is not what we're going to discuss today. And this is what I want to tell you. When you plan, when you identify, when you put a rank, the whole purpose is what? To create some responses. What do you mean by responses? Response means if in case this risk happens, what action to be taken? Makes sense, right? I'm thinking something could happen to my health. So what do? I go for a health insurance, or I plan some medical checkup every year. This is a timeline. Now, point is, it may or may not. However, we have to write some strategy like this. Strategy doesn't mean you write in a paper and just tear the paper, throw it away. No. When you write a response, this response involves what? It involves people and their time. Very good. When people and time are there, chances are material also could be involved. Then what you want? When you have people, when you have time, when you have material, something more important needed. What is that? What is that? Money. Isn't it? Money. When this is needed. But Shri, are you going to use the money right away? No, not necessarily. But you're going to plan for it. But sometime you have to use the money as well. I'm expecting there is a power shutdown 2 days from now. I may need a backup. I may need a battery system. I may need a what you call genset. Okay, when you need it, 2 weeks from now, power shutdown can happen. Okay, will I wait till 2 weeks from now to buy a genset, or I'll buy right now and get it ready? What is your thought?
We'll buy right now and get it ready.
Possible, right? If your situation is high, if your situation is a high problem, then what do? You buy now. For buying now, I need some money. People, material, involvement is there. Who will give that money? Customer has to give it. When customer has to give it, I have to justify the customer. That's a qualitatively high, quantitatively high with some information. Anyway, you learned this in the part of classes. Let's not drill there. Let's get to the place of response strategy. Okay. Now, in the screen, you could see some information. Okay. What you're seeing in the screen is threats and opportunities. Now, question to people here. In risk, threat is a common word. We know that if this happens, there is some failure going to happen, negative scenario. What is this opportunity? What is opportunity in a risk? What is an opportunity?
That's a positive risk.
Positive risk.
Benefit. But the risk means a negative word, isn't it? How come it is becoming a positive word today suddenly?
If customer is asking some additional
Features.
additional features,
Are they ready to pay for it?
yes,
Right? Yeah. I'm going to recruit a new person, and this new person comes with exponential knowledge on some area on artificial intelligence, which your company is needed. It's a positive risk I'm taking, isn't it? I'm recruiting 5 people from this particular company. Positive risk. Why it's positive risk, man? It's a day-to-day job. No. I'm anticipating if I recruit this person in the month of November with artificial intelligence knowledge, that could benefit my company on the growth of it. So what you will do for that? I will exploit the opportunity to recruit those 5 people from this particular institute or this particular company. What do you mean by exploit? I even go to their campus. I may even talk to them. I will show them industry walkthrough in my company for these people. I make sure at any cost it should happen. Okay. So you are seeing some fruit gain here. Because of that, you want this to happen. And that's called opportunity. What I gave is one small example of resource. Could be of different domain. You are trying to see what all best could happen. Okay, that is not the purpose here for the risk management primarily, because in risk management, they try more hard to work on threat area. So you mean opportunity will not work? No, we will work. But certain things, opportunity, they feel that it's good to handle, or people are efficient to handle, because a human have something called survival instinct in our brain. What is survival instinct in our brain? Our brain always think for survival, how to be best. That is why we tell a truth. That is why we tell a lie to your family members and your friends, isn't it? Every day we tell thousands of lies, isn't it? We do, right? That's called survival instinct in our brain. Now, there's a survival instinct makes us to look for the opportunity all the time around us and capture it. As a project team, we keep doing this opportunity is capturing regularly. And people never thought opportunity is missed out as a team. But still, we have to watch. Don't take it for granted. But the threat area, it's pretty dangerous, because if I don't care on this area, I may hit heavily on performance baseline. Do anyone remember this term? Even yesterday I was talking with some of you in the class. Performance baseline. What is it?
Yes, it is basically your comparison with your planned, startup line and where we are with respect.
Yeah, scope baseline. What are the 2 baselines?
Schedule baseline.
Schedule baseline.
Schedule
baseline.
Cost
baseline.
Cost.
And cost or budget, cost baseline, right? So now we are talking more on the predictive nature of project. We have to see the performance baseline. If I don't care on this area, chances are I may get into trouble. Then how do you handle it? Now, what we do here is we are going to put certain things together. Let us talk some factors about key. There are two key things in threats, which is about how to avoid it or how to mitigate it. Rest of the things are not important. Yeah, important. You can also read more on it. But avoid and mitigate is considered as more important to focus. Let's see first what is avoid. Now read this line. Read this line. This means eliminating the threat by eliminating that cause. That incident itself will not happen. You're totally going to eliminate it. Now you let me know, in your corporate or in your personal life, have you eliminated some of situation so that that risk itself will not come? Have you done it? You don't need to tell what exactly, but do you feel as a human with a survival instinct, you've done this many times in your personal life, avoiding? Have you?
Yes.
We do, right? It's very human nature. That's a human nature to avoid. Could be on your health, could be on your financial, could be on your relationship in your family, in corporate, could be on your job, could be on your savings, could be on your prestige and value in corporate. We do, right? That is on the personal and professional touch. But what I'm going to talk here is all about your corporate job on the project. Now, whatever risk has been recorded as a high, medium, and low, now you work out on eliminating. You write certain things which will be eliminated. You write a situation saying that, okay, if in case this risk will happen, my customer, my stakeholder have a habit of keep changing requirement frequently. That too, after the project implemented more than 70%, this person can change the requirement. I'm anticipating this risk can happen in the month of December. What do you do? What do you do? What is the elimination strategy here? What is the elimination strategy? When you feel a stakeholder will change a requirement frequently, what will be your elimination strategy? How to stop that? Any random thoughts? Go ahead.
Continuous engagement with the.
There you go. There you go. Continuous engagement, or write a communication strategy, engagement strategy. How can I involve this stakeholder as much as early in the project and keep closely connected with them? By this, you're totally eliminating that problem itself popping up. But Shri, is it an avoid? It's my day-to-day job, man. Of course, if you do that, you're a good project manager. But what I gave is one simple example. There could be many situations. A vendor supplying something is not coming on time with the quality. Or there could be a natural disaster anticipated, right? Or you have a new deliverable which has to reach on this date, but you don't have a right people to support you. There could be many scenarios where you have a situation where that should be eliminated, which means I don't want that should happen there. I can eliminate it. This is the best preferred approach. Why? Because here, if you see here, avoidance and mitigation are generally used for high priority, high impact risk. The risk at the topmost level, which goes for avoid and mitigate, because I don't want that to happen. Many of you would have observed, if I don't do PMP certification, I may not get promotion in 3 years from now, or I cannot survive in the company. You totally want to eliminate that threat happening. What you do? You took a risk of getting into completing your certification. That is a benefit for you as well, avoiding the risk. We are avoiding something here. Yeah, we are avoiding it. But avoiding and mitigation are very close to each other. Let's see mitigation in a minute. Before that, why this one? You want to share something?
Yes, I had a query. Say, for example, we enroll one of the stakeholders post completion of say 20% or 25% of the project objectives. So in such a scenario, does the risk assessment for the new stakeholder starts from the beginning, since we have already crossed 20-25% of the project, for example? So how is the assessment related to the enrollment of the new stakeholder done?
Okay. Are you connecting that with the risk management or a general understanding of stakeholders?
And understanding. So what my understanding is, the moment the new stakeholder comes in, even after our planning to engage with all the related stakeholders, there are chances that a given stakeholder might be required to come in, or maybe a new stakeholder is identified post completion of certain percentage of the project.
Exactly.
In such a scenario, the inclusion is going to have its impact based on the influence level of the particular stakeholder on the other project constraints. So
Highly
how do we
possible.
assess that?
Highly possible. You remember the power interest of the grid which we maintain, number one. Number one, two
Correct.
is assessment matrix, which you talk about somebody is aware, unaware, right? What will happen in a stakeholder? First, let's talk about a stakeholder, as you say. In a stakeholder process, doesn't mean a same stakeholder will stay closely connected with the project all over the life. There'll be up, down, up, down, up, down, or sometimes totally out. That is why we have the power and interest at this point of time. That grid will be getting updated regularly. If you see somebody is high in power, high in interest, they are the people you manage closely. What do you mean by manage closely? You listen to them, you communicate to them, you collect the information, you respond to them, you create a communication management plan. When a risk strategy is planned, you will invite them, you sit with them, talk to them. They are the people you work. Now you know that when the project needle is moving, and you're telling when the 25% is project is crossed, I know these stakeholders may not have importance, which you will not wait till 25%. When your project is started by 10 and 15%, you start anticipating their involvement. Now you already start anticipating after 25% who is going to be there, and those names will start coming in. And your register importance will start shifting from here to here. Your power interest grid, who you thought high power, high interest, will become maybe high power but low interest. Later, low power, low interest. Now this scale keep changing is a day-to-day job of management. You keep watching who's important, right? By which what happens is your risk register, communication system, or any stakeholder management kit getting upgraded. I may not specially think, okay, today it's a 25% done. What to do next? That's not the way it works. You start anticipating a little early. But there are chances some surprise stakeholders can come inside. We don't know. A new change was introduced in the project. A new problem happened this morning, an issue. Suddenly some stakeholder introduced in your life. But that handling is called project management skills. But on a general note, I'll tell you, this is a way they keep looking on the scale and the needle. How does it move? Helps you. Helps you. All right, then let's move a little more. We were conversing something about the avoidance here. Now, after avoidance, what happens? After avoidance, we talk something about the mitigation. Read the line about the mitigation. In a mitigation, what is happening? Now, can somebody read these two lines and let me know, is there a difference between avoid and mitigate? Is there a difference? Or both look same for us?
Different, Shri.
Both are
Avoid is
different, right?
completely eliminating. Mitigate is reducing the probability or impact.
But
Yes.
when there is a chance to completely eliminate, why should somebody has to reduce it? What could be the reason?
It could be because of cost and schedule.
We can put other way also. You can answer me saying that no. When you said there is a chance of totally avoiding, why eliminate? It can be this way. There is a chance you can't even eliminate it. You can't do anything there. Then what you do? At least reduce the probability or impact of that. Is it possible? There are some cases where you can't totally eliminate it. It could be the case where a customer or a stakeholder is adding a requirement after 40% of the project work. You feel it's a problem. So your company has a clear strategy. When a requirement comes in after 40%, we will totally avoid handling such kind of requirements, which will bring in me quality, risk, and other parameters as a problem. It's an avoid. It's a very clear strategy. However, there is a stakeholder who is so highly powerful, and there is an anticipation this stakeholder can give you more project in a couple of 2 years from now. Now, will you straight away say no, guys, or you will find an opportunity to mitigate this problem by involving them closely, or bringing more architects in the system, quality engineers in the system, and try to see how can I handle this risk, even though I know I cannot eliminate it. Now, question to you, in your project, have you seen such kind of things where there is a place you cannot eliminate, only you can handle it, you can't eliminate it? Have you gone through this kind of problems?
Yes.
Happens, right? But is it happening because of the pressure or because of the need in the project?
Because of need in the project.
What if it happens because of pressure? Is it right or wrong? It could turn into wrong, because of pressure, if I take it, what will happen is I am pushing something which won't fit into the project. This avoidance and mitigation are a strategy of project management under which I don't want to or I cannot avoid, so I'm handling a mitigation of it. But still, it should be sensible. Why sensible? What if something doesn't fit in, but I still mitigate it? It will break at one point of time. So you have to see, if you cannot do that, chances are you have to escalate it. You will pass to senior management or a group of people whom they can handle better than we handle it. So it should not be by pressure. It should be by the need of the project, where we can add more or eliminate that particular problem. Now, why this point we are discussing here is, in your project, whether you work in a predictive nature or adaptive nature, we always get into some risk situation which could happen few days from now, few weeks from now, or maybe tomorrow. Once we have the list of risk and we strategize it, when in case it happens, what to do, that saves a lot of time, money, and people frustration. See, why you mean frustration? Of late, many people are switching their job not because of salary, because of work culture. Have you heard this from any of your friends? They don't switch a job because of salary. Many people switch because of work nature and culture. Have anyone heard these terms? Some of your friends?
Very often. Very often.
Very
People
often.
join the job. People join the company, but they leave the management.
But have you heard this with your parents or grandparents? Parents and grandparents could be less, because they have that patience, because they don't have such an option in the market, and they don't know the world very well like what you do here right now. At least some parents would have done, or many people which you observed, they would have stayed in the same job for 35 years, because that's the only thing they can do. But we are living in a world, opportunities are very high. On top of that, we are working with somebody called a knowledge workers. So you cannot push people. And people, if you start pushing, that doesn't come up, it's bounce back. So we have to have that knowledge workers to think and create some strategy which is good for the project, not for pushing on the people. Anyway, this is the points which you see from the well-planned project management model. I didn't go other area. I want to just talk on avoid and mitigation. I will talk one more area called acceptance. When there is a chance to avoid, when there is a chance to mitigate, why somebody has to accept the risk? Any thoughts? Why somebody has to accept the risk in a project? When you say accept, if it happens, it happens. If production deliverable happening, impact is low. Nice. So when impact is low, we no need to really spend time and money. Rather, we can leave it. Is it the point?
It's unavoidable.
Yes.
Unavoidable. Unavoidable. I like both the answers. One is it's low. Why should I put all my energy there? Let it happen. It's okay. It's in your family. How many times it happened? From this morning till you came to the class, at least one or two risk you would have crossed in the last 5-6 hours. Even if it's okay, you would have said that because it's could be low, or are some things there which you cannot avoid, you cannot mitigate, you cannot transfer also. Now what do? You accept it, but you can question me why you don't escalate it. There comes the level of the risk. If the level of risk is pretty high, we keep escalating it, telling that guys, something heavy coming up, please be prepared. Whom you escalate? PMO, portfolio manager, program manager, directors, or somebody responsible to handle the situation. They will be informed. They get to know that something is coming. Now, what you see here is a response strategy. What do you mean by response strategy? If in case this happens on this timeline, what action to be taken? But in my company, I don't see this, Shri. What is happening here is Monday morning, you go to office, somebody says it's failing. Come on, fix it. You will do with it. And next day morning, another thing fails. Come on, fix it. And that is called firefighting mode. Have you heard about firefighting mode? Where every other day, some team member is always in a hurry, running here and there to fix it. That's called issue management. Nice to have a good issue management in a company. I'm not denying it. If your company has too many issues, you have a lot of frustrated employees, your company attrition rate starts going high, or people lose the rhythm of creativity. If you're always into issue fixing, they don't have really enough time to think of creativity. To reduce that and reduce the frustration, reduce the problem in the project, only we have risk management. When you plan a risk which may happen, you anticipate and work towards it. That does not turn into an issue heavily, which you cannot handle. Right. Smita, you have something to add or ask a question?
Hi, Shri. I have a question. See, if the development team changes during project execution, suppose the project is some 25% or 30% done, then should it be considered as a risk or an opportunity? I just wanted to ask that.
Good question, but little more understanding. When you say development team change what?
See, if the development team, suppose there are 5 number of people in a development team,
Very
two
good.
architects change, okay, and somebody else comes in. Like in that case, is it considered as a risk to the team, or is it considered as a threat to the team, or as an opportunity to the team?
Nice question. I like this question. So out of a 5, 2 people went out, isn't it? 2 architects went out. Now what will happen here is it has become 3 people. Okay. Now you're asking 2 more people to come in, or no one is getting in?
No, 2 people come in.
Now 2 people are coming in. This is a new. Okay.
New people. Yeah.
Now old is going out, new is coming in.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good question, right? Now the project is running here.
Okay.
The project is started or it's in a completion stage?
No, it's like some 40-50% done.
40% completed. Very good. Nice scenario, right? We can see this in a 2 scenario. I know this you brought out, maybe something happening in your life also. Okay. I don't want to go full detail, but what I do is let's put in 2 scenario. When I use the word old and new, for in my case, if these people are not performing well, not capable, and I'm bringing somebody new in, can I look that as an opportunity and I can call it as an exploiting something here? Possible?
Yes.
One way. Don't conclude here. It's one way. I'm exploiting here. They are doing well, but they're frustrated, so they're moving away. Because of which I'm bringing somebody inside. Now, what kind of it's happening? It's an opportunity or it's a threat?
Threat.
Still not sure. What if they come here, they do a good job better than these guys? We don't know. But for now, it's a threat, isn't it? Yeah. Let's put this way. Now, let me take it as a threat. Okay. First scenario, I took it as a plus. Second scenario, I'm taking it as a minus. For a plus, what you do is when 2 guys are going out, 2 guys are coming in, I will exploit. I will go check in the market. Who are the best architect I have to bring in? This I will exploit in the market. Exploit means I'll beat left and right to see the top architect in the market. If I can't do this, your company says we don't have that much of budget. We have low budget. What do you do? I will enhance. I may go and talk to other departments in my own company to see if anyone is available. Is this possible?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to negative scenario. When I say negative scenario, minus. And these two guys are good guys, amazing people, frustrated, and they're going away. I'm going to bring two people inside. Now your negativity is super high. I don't know what kind of people they are, but my negativity is very high. Now you are the project manager. What you will do? You can do two things. Number one, avoidance. You will have a conversation with these guys. Can I work out on your package? Can I work out on your benefit so that you guys don't resign? Can I do that? If I'm anticipating by October they may resign, I will start my conversation in the September to avoid that situations of not happening. Okay. If avoidance is not working, that guy says, man, get lost. Don't even call me for meeting. Now what do you do? I will mitigate. How do I mitigate? I create some training sessions for these guys, lessons learned for these guys, tune them so that I can mitigate the problem. In case if new people come in, also my project keep moving. I'm trying to fit in the words here and there, but are you seeing the big picture? This should be anticipated 3 months back, 4 months back. Then only this all will work.
Yeah.
What if totally you didn't anticipate? Monday morning you are seeing I'm resigning. What do you do? You can't do anything. That's called issue. Already it's burning. Now you have to handle the situation. And many corporates are in this stage when the manager is not capable of capturing something called cues. Have you heard the word cues? Cues, intuition, observation skills. Now some managers are there. Employees no need to declare anything. Just by talking with them, observing on a coffee time, they'll just tell that this person may resign in next 3 months of time. They start working towards that strategy already in place. If you don't resign, fine. If you resign, there is a thing to handle on it. Now coming back to your question. Now you ask this question, out of 5, 2 goes out, 2 comes in. What will happen to the project? Now, when I see a project, I will see whether I can exploit, or I will see how to avoid it, or I will see how to mitigate it. This is how I would write a strategy for a work which may happen 3 months from now.
Okay.
Connects with you?
Yeah.
Now, is this a real scenario and it's burning for you? Okay, fine. I'll leave it there. Okay.
Yeah, one more thing related to that is, suppose if the development team, we have 2 new people coming, then should the, the entire thing start from the forming and the storming stage and all?
Will happen. That's a different risk again, right? God, man. You're opening all the doors, Smita. I like that. So what happened? We have a forming stage. After forming, what will happen? Storming, then norming, then performing. Now imagine your team is somewhere here performing. Imagine these 2 guys are going away, could bring it back. What if your team is already in storming and these guys are going away, brings people back to norming and performing? Again here, whose responsibility to understand the team?
Project manager
along with the team, not only the manager, along with the team. Maybe you work in a hybrid project or agile project. Agile project also, a Scrum methodology will not talk about this, isn't it? In agile books, you will not have management knowledge is broader knowledge. You don't listen these contents in Scrum. But this question is valuable question from you. When 2 people going away, definitely there is a chance a team can fall from performing to storming also, or could continue. We don't know, but it could happen, and that will turn different risk. That's also possible. Nice, Smita. Good question, Smita. You made many people to understand the subject very well with your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Isn't it, guys? We'll give a thank to Smita for that. Thanks, Smita, for that. All right, good. And that's the point I want to share with you on the risk again. I know I want to talk some questions. I should have some other topic to share with you. Let me see what I had. Here I have something. Look at this screen, which talks about risk response strategies. Okay, some strategy. If you see a strategy here, strategies must be timely. I think I was just talking to Smita, right? Her example, nice example. Now, it should be very timely. If I don't do in a timely strategies prepared, you are in a tough situation. Many companies have a very heavy loss because of not properly planning this timing on the strategy. The effort selected must be appropriate. I'm talking about the response strategy to the severity of the risk, high, medium, and low. Based on that, you have to choose it. Avoid spending. I like this point very much. Avoid spending more money to prevent the risk. Rather, let it happen. It makes sense, right? Avoid spending too much of money on preventing. It doesn't make sense at all. If it happens, okay, leave it there. Yeah, you have to be very cautious on this. And this goes to somebody called SME. What does SME stands for? What does SME stands for?
Subject matter expert.
Subject matter expert. You have to consult them. You cannot just make gut feel. Hey, I'm somewhat having a gut feel. It will be very expensive. Gut feel and all will not work. You have to call the SME, ask them to give the impact analysis. How much of money, time, people, effort involved. By the data only you have to speak. Not a gut feel, astrology will not work. One response can be used to address more than one risk. I like this one. One response, more than one risk, if in case it matches. More than one response can be used for one risk. One to many, many to one. That relationship can be done. A response can be address the root cause of a risk and thereby address more than one risk. It has to go deep inside to solve the problem. The team, other stakeholders, experts should be involved. I like the last point very much because if you see here, they didn't tell the project manager has to do. They're telling the team, stakeholders, experts, they should involve. Because when your team don't have a buy-in of your strategy, nothing will work. You would have formed a good strategy. No one want to listen to you. They'll feel, man, it's not my idea, your idea. Don't push your idea on me. It won't work. So as a team, they have to come up with an idea. If a team have to come up with an idea, team should know the vision of a company. Team should know the goal of the project. Team should have a clarity of why they're doing. If these things are not there, they can't give a strategy. So it is the responsibility of the senior management, manager, PMP certified like you. You have to keep things open. That's why in Agile, they call us information radiators. You have to keep things open. Only when people learn things, they can think broader, give more ideas. If not, it'll be so tough for them. All right. I know it's give the limited time. Have you got some idea about risk parameters? Can I expect that you got something on avoid and mitigate? Something triggers for you?
Yes.
Yes. So nice to know. Nice to know. Shall we hit a question? Not on risk management, but I have a question to talk. I believe I found some questions. I'll pull out some question for you. Question goes like, let me bring in the question. Check if you can see the screen. There's a question in the screen. I will expect you to read it, bring out one answer. If somebody is not understanding, you have to read the question, come up with the answer. So far, I have seen 4 or 5 people give an answer. Let's wait for others. Majority going to some answer. All right. So what I do is I'll start with someone to give a justification. Anyone want to give a justification? Put your hands up. I know that you are having justification. Tala, you want to talk something, Omar?
Yes. I think we have to focus on both the stakeholders who can impact positive or negative on the project. I mean, the CE says it's only the positive stakeholders we have to focus, but it's not just positive, but on the stakeholders who can negatively impact the project as well.
But positive people are more important, right? They are the one going to drive your project. Why should you focus on negative?
But the negative people can, they're like hindrance to the project. If the stakeholder is not happy, we should also take their concerns into consideration. So it's both positive and negative.
Okay. What will be a negative stakeholder? Who's this guy? Do we need to kill this guy?
He might not be happy with the process or outcome. So we have to take the concerns into consideration and address that.
Can an architect in a project be a negative stakeholder? Possible?
Possible. Negative. I mean, like sometimes the architect don't agree on the same issue. They might have different opinions on the same issue, how to address if issue comes up. Two architects might have different opinions on the same issue. So one could be positive, one could be negative.
Right. Well said. Like that. Thanks, Amar. And for information, we have something called a stakeholder assessment matrix. You remember that? Some people are unaware, neutral, resistant, leading. Do you remember that scale? If anyone remember here that scale, assessment matrix, where somebody currently in a position, that desired position is something else. You remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
The reason of having that is maybe somebody is, as I heard from Omar, somebody is negative. Why negative? Maybe lack of knowledge. Maybe the design idea was not discussed properly. If I'm a manager, I'm part of the group, I'm going to try to bring a brainstorming session to bring everyone together, put on a table, talk about it, prove it. What do you mean by that? I will try to break the negativity and turn into positive, or at least bring neutral. That's what it is, right? If you're not even negative, at least bring the neutral. Then later it can turn to positive also. It is not a movie. In the movie, at least in India, the last scene, the villain turns a good guy. It's so surprising, right? 40, 50 years lived a villain, suddenly becomes a good guy. It doesn't work like that. It takes time. So at least bring neutral. From neutral, chances are you make things better, possible. But still, I didn't declare the answer C, because I heard from Omar it's a good answer, but I'll also listen to a couple of them who mark other answers. I'll go a little up. Shubha says, you said D. Why you thought D is an answer?
Actually, like I believe, like the question corresponds, like which of the statement is not correct. And here all the things are related to project manager. And here the last option D is like stakeholders can have conflicting or differing objectives. That is already covered in the question A, right? A and B, that part.
Okay,
But
I hear
here it is saying like, yeah, the stakeholders is incorrect. So as a project manager, we should look after the positive also. Nevertheless, we cannot ignore them, but what the stakeholders are doing, like that is none of the project manager's business. Like, thinking of
But do you agree the statement? Stakeholders can have a conflicting or differing objectives. You agree to that statement?
Yeah. That is
agree.
That is okay.
But that's a statement, right? That's a statement true about stakeholder. You agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, nice. I'll go to Kadirvel. Kadirvel also marked a D.
Yes, Sri. I also that because that stakeholder identification will be continuous process on this project, and they say we need to incorrect statement into it. That D option is statement conflict and different objectives. We need to why they have to. This is I feel this is different from other three options.
So stakeholders can have a conflicting or differing objective. You feel that's a wrong statement or a correct statement?
It's a wrong, I feel.
Okay, let's take this example now. We are sitting in a class. There is a question I shared with you. I have a bunch of stakeholders for this question. In this stakeholder, do we have a conflicting and differing objectives on this answer in this room? You are giving answer D, somebody is giving answer C. Is that the statement here in the last line?
Yes.
So in a project, when there is a goal, there could be a set of people who will have a conflicting or differing objectives also. Is it possible?
It's possible.
Possible, right? So that statement is true. Now the question is, which statement is not true? So we have to find which one is not true. I will not declare the answer. Let's wait. Thanks for Subhashish Kadirvel. I'll go to Sarala. Sarala says A. Hey Sarala. Why you thought A?
I changed it to C later. I misread the question, like I didn't read incorrect properly, so I changed it to C.
Okay.
Since it's a complex project and we have to identify incorrect answers, so C becomes the right answer.
All right.
There will always be conflicts with stakeholders.
All right. Nice. Thanks. Thanks, Sarala there. So now you're leading a complex organizational transformation project, which is a little bigger. Since the project involves a significant amount of knowledge work. Knowledge work is going to happen. Complex knowledge work. Stakeholder identification will be a continuous process on this project. It's not one day. It's going to be regular. Which of the following statement about the stakeholder is incorrect? Now, if you observe this question, the whole story they have explained here, it's just a story. Is there any relation with this and the last statement? No. And the question, if I'm here, I can even use only this line as a question. In exam, this statement is just given. Nothing wrong. It's a good, valuable point. I'm not denying it. But this is not going to help you very heavily for an answer. It will give some hint, but not heavily. But the whole question is, which of the following statement about stakeholders is incorrect? Which means there are some statements given here which is against the stakeholder mindset in a project. Before I say incorrect, first I have to find which one is correct. Okay, let's first which one is correct. Stakeholder can have a conflicting, differing objective. In this room itself, we have a conflicting, differing objective. One says answer A, one says answer C. So this is true. A project manager needs to focus on the positive stakeholder since their needs are best served by the project. Sounds good, right? Sounds good, right? This guy has to focus on this. Because positive people are the one who is going to help you. Sounds good. But still, let's hold the answer. Positive stakeholders benefit from the outcome of the project. They are positive because they're expecting some benefit. So this statement is true, isn't it? Somebody's why you came for this class? You are a positive stakeholder of this online class today because you are getting some benefit out of it. The positive stakeholder benefit from the outcome of a project. If not, you will not come here today. So it's also true. Overlooking negative stakeholder can result in increased likelihood of failure. Now this is a question to you. What does the English word overlooking means? This will help you. What does the English word overlooking means? Neglecting.
Not considering, even though we know they are going.
Exactly. See,
negligible.
You just ignore them. We ignore them. So overlooking negative stakeholders can result in an increased likelihood of failure. Is this true? If you don't care about the negative stakeholders, that can hit your project badly. Is this true?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's also true.
Yeah, very good.
But by elimination technique, you found that these 3 points are true, which means true statement of stakeholder. Now the question is, what is incorrect here? Then after removing all the elimination, I'll go to the answer, but I'm not still sure if this answer is correct or wrong. Now I'll read the answer. A project manager needs to focus on positive stakeholders since their needs are best served by the project. In this room, I have answers from people who says A, who says C, who says D. What if I focus only on the people who gave the correct answer? What if I don't spend time with the people who had some differing answer? Will my whole 1 hour of class is success or failure? The answer would be it's a failure. I should be able to talk to the people who gave a comment of that is wrong. This is right. We talk both. Now, your project manager needs to focus on all set of people, not only the positive people. That's incorrect in this statement. Is this true?
Both sides we need to discuss.
Discuss, right?
Yes.
Is this true? But Shri, you explained it for 10 minutes here. Nice to know. In exam hall, with 1 minute, can I do all this stuff there? Huh? Something reasonably you should do, right? Okay. So then how to get this knowledge? When you go to exam hall, when you read a situation like this, when they say which of the following statement about stakeholders is incorrect, when you see such words incorrect, not good, what you do is first find what all correct. Don't search for incorrect. Our human brain takes time to find incorrect. Our brain can do fast calculation for correct things. In order to know correct things, you should know what is stakeholder management. If you never read the chapter carefully, you never understood stakeholder, resource, communication. 3 chapters as a combination, you don't understand properly. Even though you read this question, you cannot find which is correct. You will struggle. So reading is important. At the same time, how to read a question is important. When you say how to read a question, if you read carefully, you would have found there is no connection between this statement and this question line. The moment I read it, you would have understood, okay, that's only a question line I have to focus. Now, win this, when they say incorrect, let it be. First, let me work on my brain. My brain is good to calculate which is correct first. So look out for correct answers immediately. Chances are you will eliminate the one which is not needed. This is one way of approach. Other way of approach here is you are very clear from your childhood. When your family members talk to you, somebody says you are good, somebody says you are bad. You have a habit of listening both of them. The moment you see this question, you will get the answer immediately. Here, it is not book answer. It's called a common sense. Here, it is not a book answer. It's your character. In the class, I would have injected a lot of philosophy, management, leadership thoughts. The reason is certain questions, you no need a book knowledge at all. It happens by the way of your life. And this is how the PMI is evaluating an exam hall. Are you with me so far?
Yes, Sri.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And there comes your answer. The project managers need not an option. There is no option. You need to take into consideration of all types of stakeholders, right? Positive, negative, focusing only on positive stakeholders will increase the probability of failure. So we have to focus on negative stakeholders also. Okay. Here they're given as a reference of 6th edition because this is all question paper coming from a long time question paper. You can read this in anywhere in Rita 10, Rita 11, any book you like in the world. But the concept is clear. That's what important. I'll give a pause here. Anyone have a question to share or discuss for today? Let me see if somebody has a question. Wow, already 1 hour crossed. Okay, if no questions, anyone have any other topic you read recently in risk management? Any hint of topic you read? Anyone know what is called a residual risk? What is residual risk?
Yeah, a risk which even after all the techniques of mitigation and avoidance remains as part of the project.
Nice, right? Some risk stays irrespective of put a right strategy. Now, question to you, Vaidis, since you answered, thanks for answering. Which means the project team has not written a proper strategy. Can I say like that?
Not every time, Sri. Not every time. It could be that we have not identified a given risk to the required level, one case. The other case could be certain risks, even after identification and required mitigation plans, may continue. Certain things which are not in our control. Such risks get extended. Say, for example, we landed into a situation like COVID, where the expected timelines could get extended, which is not in our control. It could be considered as one of the residual risks, which even after which we would not have planned at all.
Makes sense. Nice. Thanks for that answer by this one. I'll add one more thing to this. To avoid it in companies, I'm talking about reputed companies, what they do. in order to avoid residual risk. A residual risk is you apply some strategy, but still the risk continues. What will happen is, there is a project starting in the month of February. I'm anticipating some risk after 2 quarters from there. 2 quarters from February could be third quarter, right? There is something in September time. Now, what they do here is there is something called continuous evaluation, continuous watching of the risk, which means I write a strategy for a risk in the month of February, after which I just forgot it. I don't even think about it. Only in the month of September, when it pop up, I'm thinking, oh my God, it's happening. Those kind of problem solving is not a good idea. What they do on a regular meetings with the project management team, what they do, they bring up those risks. They see, is this risk still high, medium, or a low? Is this risk, the intensity, how it's going to be? The response, what we have written in the month of February, now we are in the month of May, still it works. Do I need some corrections there? So they keep checking that pattern until the month of September crosses, which means you reevaluate or evaluate. It's called monitoring the risk parameters. Do you think that will help a little bit on this area to reduce that problem?
Yeah, sort of estimate and re-estimate the methodology to see that where we are with respect to our estimations.
Exactly, but not 100% sure. It's an attempt. It's an attempt to see. But many companies which get this residual risk or secondary risk, or because they write the risk, then they forget it. They don't know what happened to that. They just leave it. Those are the risk pops up heavily. Yeah, very good. Nice topic. Kaushik Das has a question. Kaushik Das, nice picture. Taken for a visa. This picture.
Yeah. Thanks. So I have a question. Okay. I was going through that Agile practice guide. From the starting of this Annex 1. So those details I was going through, but not sure if those are relevant for exam perspective. A lot of boxes, reference names. So
okay.
I was checking whether those are relevant for me.
Right. Before I answer that, why you thought not relevant? Because you found any content is totally away from what we want?
Yeah, the content which is there, maybe I think, it's just some reference point, something like not very informative. That I mean that.
Is it?
Not
is
everything,
it? Okay.
not completely, mostly I would say. There are some content, but mostly a lot of boxes, reference.
Okay. I'll ask someone who read this appendix. You're talking about appendix, isn't it?
Yeah, annex.
Annex. I believe I asked to read something called annex, not annex, appendix. There is something given at the bottom. Glossary is in PMBOK. Yeah, I'll ask someone here. Anyone here read the last few pages in Agile Practice Kit book? Along with the glossary, by the way. Anyone read the last few pages in Agile Practice Kit book here? People getting close to the exam?
Yes, I read, Sri.
Okay. Have you found anything interesting there which we can share with team members?
Yes, Sri. Those are helpful. Today also I read something. Servant. What is servant leadership? Online definition it is giving. What is breakdown chart? What is breakup? Just need not to go through all the lines. Just one sentence it is giving what it means actually. It's just refreshing our mind while reading those.
Okay. So now there is something about the tables given here. Related to that, we heard the comment now. Is it helpful for us? Have you read anything on the table?
Tables also I read. It's giving an explanation.
Okay. If people don't know what I'm talking, what we are talking, by the way, I'm bringing the screen here. Are you seeing what I'm sharing here? Are you talking about this, Kaushik?
Absolutely.
All right. How many pages you read here?
So I skipped going. So wherever I think that my brain is not relevant, I just
this page, this you would have seen already in our classes. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. This
Right.
one I've
Right.
talking.
Have you read what is integration management and how does it work in iterative and agile way? Did you read this?
Yeah, this I read. Again,
Okay,
after something, I will find a lot of reference point. So that was I was saying that not completely in between some tables.
But this table was useful for you. What is
this is relevant. Yeah, this is informative.
This is what you have to read.
Okay.
And apart from this, I don't think other things are not needed. I don't see that also. You see only the important information in the table. If you can read these table information, that should give you an idea about how a predictive nature, how a adaptive nature works.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah, it helps.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. After that, you start getting to Annex 2. In Annex 2 also, they talk about what they mean by value. They talk about what it is mean actually. What I showed you is Annex 1. And this is Annex 2. I don't see more invalid values. All are valuable information. For example, they have 12 principles and they're explaining some information about it. Right. But if you don't feel like to go with as a principle, they're connecting with a chapter where you can go and see that. Characteristics of project lifecycle, and these are numbers to the chapters where you want to refer to, right? They're talking for this principle where things are covered. That's what I explained.
Yeah, so already we have covered that. Yeah, till 0.5 and all. So those are already covered.
If you're very good on these 12 principles, I don't think you have to read it. But I would say, as Agile is highly trending, no one is expert in Agile so far. Even though we read a lot, you can't be an expert. I would say read it again. Nothing stops you. That's on Annex 2. This is on Annex 3. Annex 3 talks about overview of Agile and Lean framework. And your whole exam concept is based on this. So you can spend some time to go through all these columns. And this is all basic information. I don't see any irrelevant information here. If I'm you, I would have read all. It will take hardly 5-6 pages to read for 30 minutes of time.
Sure.
That's what I will do, right? Please do this. And also in the bottom, you have something about glossary. Have you seen the glossary?
Yeah, I covered that.
Yeah, glossary. I would say Agile Practice Guide is one of the best book to read. A very simple language, clearly explained.
Yeah, I was referring this reference was also. Okay.
Which reference you're talking about?
Just you covered cross that lot of reference point. Only some just a few seconds back. This one. I hope these are not relevant. This all.
This is not needed. This is not needed. You should need read something which is. I don't think you have to ignore it. You have to read only the point which is knowledgeable for you. Okay, read those points.
Perfect.
All right. With this, I think some of you also got the idea what to read in Agile Practice Guide. Please read that book. It's a very good book. Also, some people already got a Rita 11th edition. 11th edition is also a good book. I can see a lot of Agile explained. But I always see that PMI Institute book has a good language. Agile Practice book was released by PMI Institute. Very simple, 180 pages. It will take hardly 4 or 5 days to complete it. That's it. You read 2 times, 3 times. You are very clear on Agile. That's how it is. Good question. Thanks, Kaushik. All right, that's much I have. Oh, Akila has a question. Here's Akila.
Hi, Shri. Actually, I have a small clarification. There is a update about after September 25 who are appearing in PMP exam. Some notes are given. So is it going to be a risk for us or we can avoid it?
Okay. You are aware of what is going to happen? Are you aware of it?
Not totally, but it's
okay. If you're not totally aware, we discussed this at the beginning of the QA. I'll bring it up again. From 25th, that is from tomorrow. You see the screen right now. Your exam results will not be shared immediately after you complete the 180 questions, which means they ask you to wait for at least within 5 days. They're going to give you results. They're asking you some waiting time. The waiting time will be used for something they call as data forensic. They are going to take your exam. They have a recorded video of your class and the pattern of how you are answering. They will analyze and come back and tell you are a genuine person. Then they will tell your result is pass. And because a lot of fake things happened the last couple of years and PMI want to restrict it, because of that, the third party, Pearson VUE, this institute is the one conducting the exam. Going forward, they will not declare the results. Results will be declared only by the PMI, that too within 5 days. So this is a declaration. So question to you is what risk you have. I don't think as a risk. but probably a waiting time is more. That can give a little more heavy heartbeat. That can happen. If not, nothing much there. You'll do the same process of exam. Waiting time is more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, got it. Thank you, Sri.
Fantastic. Okay, that's a good question. And again, this should not make you to decide whether to write the exam or not. Please proceed on your exam as usual, because whatever it is, it's a rule from PMI. We have to follow that. Only thing is, I am also waiting for getting more information, whether to go to exam on a center or online. This question, I have it as open. I would wait a few more candidates going for exam in the month of September. We will listen to them, how the exam output is, then I'll make a decision on it. Until then, I would not comment anything on how to go for the exam. Okay. So keep watching and join our Sunday classes, Sunday prayers. We'll do some good job here. All right. Thanks all for the participation today, and we'll connect by next Sunday. Next Sunday, we are starting a new batch for PMP. New energetic people are coming there. And people who have already attended, you feel I want to get energy again, please join us. And if you feel some of your friends or some of your office colleagues want to join this PMP, please reach out to us or reach Rahul, you know who he is, and let know. We will all start fresh batch by next Sunday. Good wishes and see you all.
Thank you, Sri.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sri.
Thank you.
Thank you.